Alright, so now it is time to set up Devise. We're going to create users and we're going to register those users to Stripe. Additionally, we're going to configure our application to use the Tailwind CSS framework, which also provides us with some neat scaffolding. I mean, hey, if I'm charging for this course, the views can't look like crap. But I am trying to keep things minimal because I just want to get to the Rails side of things for you guys. So I've already ran bundle. I have Devise. I added these three gems: Devise, Tailwind CSS Rails, and Devise Tailwinded. We will get to the last gem in just 1 second. So we need to do Rails G Devise install, and this will install Devise for us. You're going to get these flash messages. I'm just going to assume you already know how to use Devise. You can look up the Devise page at GitHub Heart Combo. And then we're going to make a Devise user. So Rails G Devise user is what we will run. So Rails G Devise user. And now we're going to install Tailwind CSS Rails. Forget the command. We need to run Rails Tailwind CSS install. Easy enough. So we run that. Okay, so Tailwind's installed. Now we want to style our Devise views just to give them a little styling. And oh, the Tailwind CSS Rails also gives us scaffolding styling as well. So our scaffolds look pretty. I don't remember if I mentioned that. But yeah. So as you can imagine, forms, sign-up forms, there's something that's been styled a million times. The Devise Tailwinded gem will style those forms for us. There's nothing I hate more than watching a Rails tutorial. It's like, wow, you just spent a half hour styling sign-up forms. You should have just used a gem. Seriously. But so I come to Rails Tailwinded CSS Devise, Tailwinded Devise. I forget the command to install this, but it basically just over writes the default Devise views. Come over here, and we need to run Rails G Devise views Tailwind CSS. Oh, this is the wrong gem. I think I know the command. I'm sorry. Rails G Devise views colon tailwinded. And oh, that was the command. See, I knew it all along. So now our Devise views look pretty. Now we're gonna do some test-driven development. So I got the Stripe dashboard set up right here, but what we want to do is we want to create a customer. So we're gonna go on over to our test models, our user test, and we're going to do a test. User is registered as Stripe customer after creation. Oops, do, and we're going to do setup, do user equals users. Actually, no, we're going to do this user dot new email foobar at example.com, password foobar 2, and then password underscore confirmation is foobar 2. So when you install Devise, there's actually something wrong with the fixtures. You need to go like this. You need to open up your users fixture. You just need to add them emails. So email blank at example.com, and I'm just going to erase. No, actually, I'll keep that user right now. So email meow example.com. So for this, we want to do at user.save, and we want to do assert Oh, I actually forgot to do something. We need to create a migration to store our Stripe ID in our users. So if we look over to the Stripe customer object, when you create a customer, each customer has an ID. So when we send our information over to Stripe, it'll create a customer with this ID. But later on, we want to store this ID so that we can quickly grab customers. So we're storing the Stripe ID inside of our database. That way we don't have to constantly call the Stripe API. So we're going to generate a migration. So Rails G migration, add Stripe ID to users. Well, let's do this. Add customer ID to user, customer ID : string, and we're going to make this default, it will be nil. We want Rails DB migrate, boom, boom, boom. Now we can write our test. So after we save our user, we just want to assert that our user has a customer ID. So if it's nil, this will return false because nil is false. So we can do Rails test models. That is going to fail. While we wait for that test to run, we can open up our user folder. Okay, yes, it did fail. So we're going to create a private method to register our customers. So it's going to be called private. We're going to do def register customer. Actually, we are going to open this. We're going to come on over to the Stripe API. We're going to do the create customer. So we're going to do Stripe customer dot create, and this takes a dictionary of the properties that we have. So we're just going to pass in the email. So the email is going to be the email of our user. So the email field was created by the devise. I'm sorry. And actually, we need to save this in a variable. So all this is a web request. So we're going to do request. We're going to set it equal to this API call. We're going to do p request dot body, I believe, and then we need to. So when we create a user, we're going to have a callback, and that callback is going to be the after create. We'll do register customer. So if I do this, actually, yeah, let me just p request. See what that does. Come on over to users / shine up. I don't know why this is taking so long. So yeah, this is just a request, and it returns this JSON object. So here we have register, so I will just use example at example.com, password foobar, and we'll register. It redirects us to root. Aha, and you'll see that this JSON response is given. So we have our Stripe customer object, and it has JSON. So what we can do is we need to do update attribute. The name of our attribute is customer ID. and then we're going to pass it the request, and then the key of ID. I actually need a comma here. So let me stop the server, and I will run Rails test models one more time. I actually did a blog post on this a little while ago, and that will be linked in the description. I forgot to mention that earlier. And you see our test is successful. So every time a user signs up, this callback will be called, and it is called after create. If you use before create or after save, it gets like in this recursive mode. I'm not sure why, where the function just keeps getting called, and that's no good. So what I also like to do is, our site is obviously going to have an administrator. So I like to do def register admin, and I'll do if email equals my email at example.com, update attribute admin, and then true. So obviously I don't have a migration for this, so let's do Rails G migration add admin to users, and it should be admin : boolean. I believe we need to do default false again. We do. So default false Rails DB migrate. So obviously every site has admins. You could even check if the admin is in a list. So maybe I'll save that for another time, or you can figure that out yourself. But now we're going to make a test to register our admins. Test user registered as admin if my email do. So we can do at user.email equals, what was it, example at example.com? Oh no, it was my email at example.com equals my email example.com at user.save assert at user.admin, and we should actually comment this out. Whoa. I'm sorry, I'm just getting in a flow state right now. I'm all over the place. So yeah, same callback, same concept. You just register an admin, you check a condition, and you register the admin. So if I just comment this out, our test will be red. But actually, I'm going to write one more test. Actually, no, we don't need that. But we can just do Rails test models. Because my computer is slow, this is going to take forever. So our test failed. Let us uncomment this. Rails test again. My email at example.com. At user.email equals my email at example. Okay, I am not sure what is going on here. I will fix that in the next video. But anyway, so this is it for the free content. If you are looking to learn about Stripe subscriptions and Ruby on Rails, as well as Flutter, and then Fluttering on Rails, check out coryscodecamp.com. All my lessons will be up there. Check it out right now, and be sure to subscribe to my podcast, my Medium, and of course this YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.